The police spokesperson, who usually will spin the narrative of police conduct, has turned around and said, you know what, y'all, actually, they are racist. Yep, they racist. Put them up. This is an interesting twist. Police spokesperson sues his own department for racial bias. I cannot with these people. He is the spokesperson for the police. Let's get into it. Akron Police spokesperson sues the department. Lieutenant Michael Murphy is alleging that his department engaged in racial bias in promotions at the department. The officer who serves as the public face of the police department is now suing the agency he represents publicly, claiming the city has systematically discriminated against Black and minority officers in promotions while bending the rules for white candidates. The Lieutenant Murphy, who currently serves as APD's public information officer, filed this lawsuit November 14th in the Summit County Court of Common Pleas, alleging racial discrimination after the city twice rejected his application to take the captain's promotion exam. They rejected his application to take the test. The complaint seeks to halt a captain's exam scheduled for November 19th and ask a judge to declare any result unlawful. Murphy, who is Black, was told he could not take the exam because he had not served as lieutenant for 2 years, a requirement the city cited when rejecting his applications in October. But according to the lawsuit, that same 2-year rule has been routinely waived for white officers, including the current police chief, Brian Harding. You know who would have that information? The spokesperson for the police department. The chief information officer would be privy to such a rule bend. And then you cite the rule, but he knows about the bend. And he cites unequal application of the policy. The city doesn't always follow this rule. The complaint points to 5 officers, in fact, including the chief, who have been promoted from sergeant to lieutenant to captain within approximately 18 months, despite not meeting the 2-year requirement at all. The lawsuit highlights another troubling example. Captain Chris Batesel, one of the officers who was promoted with less than the 2-year requirement, pleaded guilty to operating a vehicle while intoxicated. This was in 2016. The drunk driving arrest also included a charge of improperly handling a firearm in a motor vehicle. That's actually a 5th-degree felony. It was reduced to a 1st-degree misdemeanor as part of the plea deal. This officer was fined $400 and promoted to captain the following year. Y'all need to go ahead and pay this man. Y'all should have let him take that damn test. He knows where your skeletons are. Bodies buried. He's a chief information officer. There's more. Murphy, meanwhile, has been denied the opportunity to take the exam. We're not even talking about a promotion. We're talking about taking the test, which creates an eligibility list that locks out candidates who may qualify later. According to the lawsuit, there are currently 0 captain vacancies at the police department. All 10 allocated captain positions are filled. The department also has its full complement of 4 deputy chiefs and 21 lieutenants. By contrast, the department has 7 vacant sergeant positions, yet no exam has been scheduled to fill those roles. Siplin argues the time of the exam reveals a deeper problem within APD's promotion system. Quote, He's entrenched in the good old boy network, Siplin said of current police chief Harding, making sure that people that he went through the ranks with, people he knows, and people he likes get promoted as he goes up. The lawsuit alleges the exam is being held now specifically to create an eligibility list of hand-picked candidates before officers like Murphy become eligible to compete. Quote, there's no need for the exam other than for succession planning that includes a plan to exclude minorities and women from being able to rise up in the ranks. Murphy has been with the police department since March 26, 2007. You're talking about a guy who has many years in service at that agency. And the Massachusetts State Police, they have lost a $6.8 million judgment in a lawsuit accusing the Department of Discrimination. Once again, defunding the police by way of the police. A jury has ordered the Massachusetts State Police to pay $6.8 million after finding that it did, in fact, discriminate against female and minority troopers. The verdict, confirmed Tuesday by their Superior Court clerk, came in a lawsuit accusing the agency's leadership of doing something very similar, enabling a discriminatory process for hiring and promotions that kept women and people of color from rising through the ranks. The 2016 lawsuit accused leadership of handpicking candidates for jobs before they were posted and enabling a, quote, pattern of discriminatory practices that prevent many from obtaining choice assignments throughout the department. A group of current and former state troopers that included women, Black and Hispanic officers said employees who were not male or white were passed over for promotions on a regular basis that went to white men who were less qualified with more extensive disciplinary records at that. All of this is going to equate to defunding your police department by way of the police. And to the local community, you deserve better than this. You deserve better than this. Please keep in mind, when they are accountable to the chief, they're not accountable to you. When they are only accountable to a person, they will never be accountable to the policy. So this is the regime being created right in front of your eyes. All right, we'll bring you updates as they come. They're going to have to settle with Murphy, obviously. He has them dead to the rights. All right, dear brother, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, when people say there is a systemic racism problem in police departments, it's not just in policing, it's in how they operate internally as well. People need to understand that. That systemic problem reaches into all aspects of policing. And you can't have it exist in promotions, personnel decisions, and expect it to manifest somehow differently on the street. So when people, please understand, this is a wide-reaching problem.
Yeah, well said. The isms travel together.